Welcome on in. This is Reading Between the Wines. We made it here. Halfway through the week. It's time to celebrate. We're going to have a great show tonight. And before I even get into it, I want to give a very special thank you to my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and serve each and every one of you. Thank you so much to each and every one of you out there for joining in on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I see y'all out there doing your thing tonight. Thank you so much. Drop it in the comments to let me know where you are calling from. It's going to be a great show tonight, and I could not do any of these shows without each and every one of you out there who support and who continues to, come in and check me out. One of the best things that you could possibly do for the 4-in-1 podcast and Reading Between the Wines is like, comment, share, participate, tag your friends, bring them in because it's a vibe here. It's a session. It's amazing. And just like each and every one of you out there are amazing and wonderful. And thank you so much for hanging out with your boy. We have author Lauren Schultz coming in tonight, all the way from California, one of my favorite places on the earth. So I love Cali. So can't wait to speak to her. But before we do that, we got some wine sampling going on in a whole nine. Let's see what we got here. We got Cocobon Estates Cabernet Sauvignon. So for those of you out there that are wine drinkers, if you're wining down with me tonight, drop it in the comments and let me know what you are sipping on. We're going to be sampling this Cabernet here tonight. At any given time, if there's any questions that you want me to answer, if there's anything that you want to let me know, you can text me at 609-730-0611. We got those burning questions, so that's coming up towards the tail end of the show. But in any given case, you can always text me at 609-730-0611. Song of the day, Warning by the Notorious B.I.G. So I was in the car a couple days ago driving, and that song came on and it took me back. 1994. What were you doing during 94 when the Notorious B.I.G. first came out with Big Papa off of the Ready to Die album, 1994. So then I started to think about the show that we have coming up, and the topic that we are discussing tonight is a friendly warning. Track 5, a friendly warning. So Notorious B.I.G. warning and a friendly warning. So I'm going to take y'all down memory lane in case y'all don't understand or have never listened to that. So Notorious B.I.G. is talking about how when you have friends, they like what you like. They may not have the things that you have. They could become jealous, especially when you start to blow up. So he's letting people know, I'm giving you a warning. I'm giving you a friendly warning. Don't come over here. Don't come nowhere near mine, because if you do, I'm going to do you in. And pretty much that's how the song plays out. And towards the end, that's exactly what happens. So we're going to remix it and we're going to flip it. We're not doing anybody in tonight. We're not going to get over the top. We're not going to get crazy about things, but we want to give people a friendly warning, especially if it's family members, people that you really care about, that you really love. You see them going down a path that you once went down before, right? Have you ever been in that situation? What's going on, Miss Carol Cordera? Have you ever been in that situation where you see someone so close to you going down a path that you once been in, and you try to give them a friendly warning? Now, the reason why I brought up a friendly warning is because this is a whole evolution here. This is an evolution of Lauren Gaines, and for those of you who've been rocking with me, I'm sure you're changing over a period of time too, once you start to learn how to become the master of your mind. So I thought back about how I used to get so upset when I used to give people, I'm not going to say it was a friendly warning, but I would give people a warning and my delivery was completely horrible. And I would get upset when people didn't do the things that I wanted them to do or take my advice. So I had to learn how to just give people a friendly warning. I'm going to explain to you exactly where I'm coming from. I'm going to let you know where I've been. And that same path that you were headed down, Trust and believe is starting to sound, it's starting to smell, it's starting to look very familiar as far as where I've been. But the person that I am today, the man that I am here today, I'm no longer going to get upset about it. I can only give you a friendly warning, and whatever you do, listen, you do you. If it starts to go south, if it starts to turn upside down, it is what it is. The best thing that I could do is just give you a friendly warning. All of that extraness, all of that catching an attitude, all of that going over the top, that's outside of me, and it has nothing to do with me. Once we learn that what people do, they are their own source. They can go ahead and they can handle their handle and they can do what they do. And it has nothing to do with us. What's going on? Burning Sky, how you doing? I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining in. They can go ahead and do what they do and it has nothing to do with us. Then you know you've made it. Once you start going back and forth, going round and round with people, you've already lost the game. Look at it as a game because it is a game. And when you realize that it's a game and you learn how to play that thing the right way, you win. We lose when we start to go back and forth. Song of the Day, Warning by the Notorious B.I.G, released in 1994 off of the Ready to Die album. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and read you just a little bit of something when it comes to warnings and stuff. Because I once spoke about repetitive things, repeating things over and over and over again, warning somebody, telling somebody what you're going to do. If you have to continuously keep repeating yourself time and time and time again, saying the same thing over and over and over again, it starts to lose a little weight. So try your best. And I'm just giving you some life experience from my life here. You can do whatever you want to do with it. Try your best not to continuously keep repeating yourself over and over and over again, because at the end of the day, people are going to do exactly what they want to do. And the minute that you try to control, which is coming from an evil source, I don't care what anybody thinks about it or says about it, this is my opinion. When you step in and try to control another human being, that's coming from an evil source. We have not been put on this planet, we've not been put on this earth to control one another. At least from what I know, at least from my studying, I can understand that we've been brought into this earth by ourselves and we're going to leave by ourselves. So therefore, since we've come in by ourselves, we're going to leave by ourselves. We don't get to control, we don't get to dictate, we don't get to manipulate any other human being that is on this planet. And I'm not even going to get into the repercussions that come behind when we start to think that we can control and manipulate another human being when that was not our destiny. That's not our calling to control other people. That comes from an evil source. Listen to this here. A man's conscience is like a warning line on a highway. Tells him what he shouldn't do, but it does not keep him from doing it. That is from Frank A. Clark. So a man's conscience, so you know that's basically your divinity, your intuition, that's your godlike voice. It's like a warning line on a highway. It tells you what you shouldn't do, but I'm not going to stop you from doing it. I'm going to tell you what you shouldn't do. Now, if you go ahead and do it and get into some trouble or have some issues along the way, it is what it is. You did get that friendly warning. That was your intuition. That was your inner spirit speaking to you saying, hey, this is what's going to happen should you go down this path. I'm not stopping you. If you go ahead and do it, that's up to you. So that lets you know that people have their own individuality. They have their own individuality and they can do whatever they want to do. And the only thing that we could possibly do is just give them a friendly warning. There you go. Track 5, a friendly warning. If you want to get the full version of friendly warning, an audio version of it, you can go ahead and head on over to X. Excuse me. I need to take a drink here. You can go ahead and head on over to X, which is formerly known as Twitter. And I have all 17 tracks of Disc 3 Evolution on Twitter for you to go ahead and listen to the audio version. And of course, this is the live version. You can interact and you can participate with me here. But if you want the audio version of all of the tracks that we're going to be going through during this Evolution series, you can go ahead and head on over to Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. So many different names. I think they need to just go ahead and figure out whatever it is. But in any case, shout out to people on X. Thank you all so much for joining in. I appreciate you. So last night we had Shadara come by. Shadara, I'm probably butchering your name. Excuse me. But we had Miss Shadara come by last night, and we spoke about generation obligation. I'm very passionate about that topic, so I strongly encourage you to go ahead and watch the replay. It was an amazing conversation. She clearly is a loving mother figure, and it pours out on that. If you go back and watch the replay from what we did last night, you can feel the passion. The conversation was amazing, and it was just completely just mind blowing from the direction that we went in. So shout out to Shadara. She has a business called Bay Beauty and Aesthetics. She's from North Carolina, one of the Carolinas. Please forgive me if I'm wrong, but check her out. Watch the replay. Her link to her Instagram is in the replay from last night. Amazing conversation, amazing woman, and she's definitely going to come back for future shows. Definitely going to reach out to her for some future shows because she was amazing last night. Young Amari, what's going on? Thank you so much. Amari, are you from New York? Speaking of places that we've been last night, we had North Carolina in the building. We had California in the building. We had Alabama in the building. We had Las Vegas, Nevada in the building. Thank you all so much for showing up. I'll have something about Mary J. Blige likely tomorrow. That's what's up. That's what's up. Give me a hint. Give me a hint. Give me a hint what you got, what you got, what you got. Now you got me wondering. Wow. Grew up splitting time between New York and LA. That's what's up. That's what's up. Which one do you like better, Los Angeles or New York? I had a burning question about that. If you had a choice to stay in a place for 10 years, would you stay in New York City in a small apartment for 10 years, or would you want to be in an isolated condo on a West Coast in California? So, the burning question from last night, I thought this was amazing. If you were on a jury, right, and someone committed a crime, the same crime that you did, are you able to convict them of that? Are you able to say that they are guilty if you knew that they did the same exact crime that you did, but you once got away with it? Would you be able to sleep at night? And Shadara was just like, yeah, because I got a job to do. I thought that was so funny. And it just cracked me up straight up. But I think about karma. I think about consciousness. I think about being able to sleep at night. And I don't know if I can go ahead and convict somebody of a crime that I once got away with. I think I would ask to be excused so I wouldn't have no parts of that. That's what I would do. I'd be like, excuse, I need to be excused from this because I don't want anything to do with this. But anyway, shout out to all of my special guests. Thank you so much. We are getting ready to sample Cocobon Estates, Cabernet Sauvignon. To Victor, what's going on? Kathy Moore Riggs, what's up? How are you? Is that the Kathy Moore that I know? It might be. We are sampling Cocobon Estates, Cabernet Sauvignon. What's the Form 1 remix celebrates 30 years tomorrow. It was released on December 7th, 1993. That was an amazing album. I think I lost my mind once it came out. I did. What's up? That's what's up. So we getting ready to sample. Now you get me a little distracted here. Sampled the Cocobon Estates Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, so we've sourced grapes from some of the finest California vineyards to craft a bold and full body Cabernet Sauvignon. Aged on American oak for 8 months with deep, rich flavors of black currants, jammy fruits. I've never heard of jammy fruits before, but I have to look that up. Jammy fruits and elegant tannins that lead to a long finish of caramel and vanilla. Pair with a rack of lamb and mashed potatoes to discover Cocobon's irresistible layers of flavor. Again, we're getting ready to sample Cocobon Estates Cabernet Sauvignon. For those of you, I know I need to show you the bottle a little more because I know that was some of the feedback. So that is exactly what I'm doing. Cocobon Estates Cabernet Sauvignon. All right, so the reviews from this wine here, it's about a 3.8 out of 5 stars. So 3.8 stars out of 5. It is very dark. It's going to be more bold, more on the drier side. You're going to get some hints of vanilla, chocolate, and oak. I think I smell a little chocolate in there. Yeah, I can smell some chocolate. Plum and black currant. Now, I've never really heard of black currant. I've seen it, but I never really dug deep into it, and I'm not quite sure what type of fruit that is. So if anybody out there who knows what black currants are, currants, am I pronouncing it properly? Let me know. Drop it in the comments and let me know. Raspberry. That's always in some of the darker cherry raspberry is always in some of the darker red wines. And again, this pairs well with beef, lamb, venison. Any venison lovers out there? I'm really wasn't a fan. When I was eating meat, I wasn't a fan of it. And poultry. Pairs well with beef, lamb, venison, and poultry. And this is going to be like a smooth, earthy, cocoa type of wine with a little vanilla twist. So let's see if it stands up to the hype of what it says it is. It is a little bold. It does have a bold taste. Yeah, it has a little bite. It has an after bite. It's bold. A little more on the dry side. I'm not sure that I would be intrigued to pour another glass of wine. Maybe. Depends on what my special guest, Miss Author Lauren Schultz, does. Because sometimes when I get into the reading, I really go in if the story's really good. Not bad. I would try it again, but um, I think one glass would do. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We have author Lauren Schultz coming in. Before we go ahead and have Miss Schultz come in, I got to sip a little bit. I'm going to let y'all know exactly about Lauren. So, Lauren Schultz is from Long Beach, California. Shout out to Cali. Um, she's a suspense writer, and she's an avid reader as well as a writer who focuses on creating, engaging, making realistic characters and their worlds, realistic worlds for readers to enjoy. So she has a series called The Last Consort. So I need to speak to her about The Last Consort. And the last book that she has is titled Evolution. So this is Evolution. Um, Disc 3 evolution of the 4-in-1 podcast and Read It Between the Wines. So I can't wait to speak to her and find out exactly where that concept came from. So let's see if we have worked out all of the kinks that we have. I'm going to say that we have. And there should be no issues when we get ready to call her. Now let's see what we got here now. And again, in the meantime, I want to say thank you so much for joining in and hanging out. And let's see, did we got it? We got it. I think we do. Oh, we don't. We don't have it. I have to reset it again. Sorry about that. This is just something that we go through, I guess, every night here. I'm starting to learn. Unculture. So I got there. I'm just call you unculture. Black currant is a piney and citrus. Oh, black currant is piney and citrus. Okay, it's a citrus fruit. Never know anything about that. So, what is the color like? Is the color I guess it's black, right? Since it's called black currant, and I guess the color of this would make sense. But that's interesting. I've never really seen a citrus fruit that was dark. Like lemons, limes, when you slice them open, they're on the light side. Even grapefruit, that's light. So that's interesting that black currant is a darker citrus fruit. Hmm. In any case, let me know what type of wine is your favorite. Are you more of a red wine drinker, or are you a rosé? Do you like white? Or would you prefer to have a prosecco, champagne drinker? What is your favorite type of wine? You can let me know the brands, but what do you prefer? Do you prefer red, white, blush, sparkling, so forth and so on? In the wintertime, I would say that I like to drink red. So this whole Dis 3 Evolution Reading Between the Wine series, I'm drinking and sampling nothing but red wines. In the summertime, I'm more like to do the white wines and the rosés, and it makes sense. You can chill them a little bit better. Some of the red wines, they should be chilled depending on which one it is, but then sort of left at room temperature. Blackberry. Okay. It's fruity for you. You like fruit wine, like dessert wines? We've had some dessert wines over this past Thanksgiving holiday. Let me tell you, sometimes they are too much. And I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not going to say too much about a specific brand, but I'm going to just say Jamal. I don't know who Jamal is, but that wine, absolutely not. We're not even getting into it. Let me. Now it's time to get Miss Lauren Schultz in. Here we go.
Hello.
Hey, 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 how are you?
I'm great. Yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm sipping and sampling my wine here. So I want to have.
Wonderful.
Are you sipping and sampling any wine tonight? Are you winding down with us tonight?
I'm winding down with you.
That's good. What do
I
you?
have a. What am I drinking?
Mhm.
It's a Merlot. It's one that you can usually find in your grocery store. It's a Malbec. Outside of Merlot, I said it's a Malbec. It's
Ah,
Alamos Malbec. Yeah, an Argentinian choice. So it's really I enjoyed this one.
I have one of them. I might sample that next week. But when I
Ah,
when I tried it at first, what's going on, Bethany? Another Californian in the building. Um, when I tried it, I don't think that I was really a fan of it though. You,
ah.
you like dark red wines, like bold and dry?
I do prefer the bold and dry.
Mm. I like sort of in the middle. This wine that we're sampling tonight, Cabernet Sauvignon, it's more on the drier side.
Okay,
But
nice.
I usually start off like if I'm at a party, I'll start off with the real sweet ones, the whiter ones, the blush, the rosés. And then after you get turned up a little bit, then you can start at that point it's like who cares, just pour it and I'll drink it. You know what I'm saying? So the red ones usually come towards the end, but that's just my advice for people who want to get into the reds.
Nice. Nice advice there. I can't really do the rosés. For me, a rosé, it always, no matter what, it always gives me a headache.
Uh,
So I can't do the rosé. So like, oh no, and I love them, but no, I just won't go there. So
hmm. Well, I have so many questions. I know it's been a year since we talked. I want to
yes,
thank you so much for coming back. This is Dis 3 Evolution, so there's been some evolutionary moments in my life, I'm sure, in yours and the listeners out there. But I understand that you have a book that's called Evolution as well.
yes, I do.
Which what
Which is a nice connection, right?
what a connection, what a coincidence. So I'm so glad that you're on. I want to hear so much about evolution and what that is about. Now, the next question that I have, what part of California are you from? I know Long Beach, right? So
Yeah.
help me out because sometimes I don't even know my way outside of a what is the saying when you don't know your way out of a wet paper bag?
Oh.
When it comes to directions and stuff. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
straight up
bad with that too. I'm never the navigator.
I'm
So.
straight up I'm straight up GPS. My mom will be like, go down the street and when you see this here and you know this building over here, you turn left and I'm like, absolutely not. Like give me the address, I'll punch it in and that's it. Don't tell me nothing about no trees and the third building on the right you turn here and then there's a hill. Not me. And the whole time while I punch it in the GPS, I ain't paying attention to nothing. I'm just enjoying the scenery, which is a dangerous thing to do because you need to know exactly your surroundings. But in any case, so how close are you to my favorite place, which is Palm Springs?
Oh, okay. Palm Springs. I'm going to say that's probably about a 3-hour drive away from me. I don't have our joke in Southern California, we talk in terms of how long it takes for you to get someplace. Mm-hmm. So, and not really the mileage. So in about 3 hours, we can probably hit Palm Springs. So I'm right in between, I'm really close to Orange County. Mm-hmm. So Disneyland is not that far from me.
Oh.
And, I'm also close to Palos Verdes on one end of Long Beach. So we get like a really nice, all the ports. I'm close to our port. So Port of Los Angeles and Port of Long Beach are all really close points. If you ever look at like any kind of where I would be, those are the points. You can look at ports and think of Disneyland. And so that'll kind of put us where we are.
Now, I have another question. I know exactly what you mean. That's like the Anaheim area, right? Because I went to, where did I go years ago? Six Flags Magic Mountain, which was not too far from there. So
I'm in a good spot. So that Six Flags is going to be up closer to our desert area, so that one probably takes about 45 minutes to get to.
Okay. Now, how far are you from Capistrano Beach? Am I saying that properly?
Capistrano Beach. You know what? I don't know. That sounds like you're saying that correctly, but is it San Juan Capistrano or is it?
When I looked it up,
we're talking about?
When I looked it up, it just said Capistrano Beach, and it looked absolutely amazing. And that is one of the next places that I want to visit when I go to California. I absolutely want to be there.
Okay, so now I'm going to have to Google that to make sure I got that, and then I can send it to you in your text message and say, hey, this is where it is.
Okay.
That's the beach I haven't visited.
But I most certainly would love to hang out with you. I love your personality based off of, coming on the show a couple times. Miss Bethany from California. I hung out with her last year. I brought my family to Palm Springs and we drove to, help me please. I can't think of the name. If you're out there, tell me what beach that was. But anyway, we went to, I'm trying to think of what it was. That's a mess that I can't even remember it. But in any case, we hung out with her.
Hey, look, you can remember the beach, and I didn't even know what beach it is at this point. I live here, so I was like, hey.
Oh, there we go. It just came to me. So we went from Palm Springs to Santa Monica. There you go.
Oh, okay. That's a nice little drive. That's a nice journey.
Yeah, it sure was. That's the biggest thing. Yeah. Like, I stay in Palm Springs because I like the heat, but then, sometimes I dread it because I have to drive like an hour or two to get to wherever. But in any case, that heat is amazing. 98 degrees at 10 o'clock at night. Sign me up for that.
Okay.
Unlike what I'm dealing with now in New Jersey, 20s and 30s. Man. I can't stand it.
Yeah, we have like our weather out here today. It's more spring than it is winter.
Mm-hmm.
So we have folks walking around without any kind of sweater or anything. I don't have a heater going. We don't need it because it's like, oh, I got a 75-degree day today. It's December, so yeah.
Do you ever use the heat?
We have.
Do you have to use the heat?
Sometimes, and our weather is just so weird out here right now. So like we'll get like the evening chill and the morning chill. But for you guys on the East Coast out there, you probably would laugh. Like, why do you have the heat on? Because it's like why was it so like, oh, it's cold, it's like 53 degrees. Because but we have that in the like early morning and in the late evening, and then it will turn to like a nice blue, warm spring like that.
No. I wouldn't laugh because I like my thermostat to be on 80. So I wouldn't laugh at all. Yeah. Like I want it to be summertime all year round. So if I like to be in basketball shorts and tank tops outside, in the wintertime I want to be in basketball shorts and tank tops inside. So that means you got to turn up the temperature a little bit. Why be bundled up and have jackets on as if it's cold inside as it is outside? I don't believe in that, but anyway.
Well, which is why Palm Springs was so resonating to you. So.
I don't know what it is about that place. I absolutely love it. I've been there twice, and I can't wait to go back. Can't wait to go back.
Awesome.
But
I'd have to hang out with you there in Palm Springs when you next time come.
Oh yeah, I definitely will let you know. Okay. Last time I was there was Coachella Festival, which I got to get that timing right. That was amazing too. That timing was perfect.
Good. That's a nice combo of time there. That's I've never been to that. I've never been to that festival.
Well, they had the hotel. The hotel next to me was crazy. I didn't go to Coachella Festival, but they have. What I've learned, and we got to get into your book too. What I've learned is that when Coachella happens, they have these little off hubs all over the place. So this hotel will have a little party. This area over here will have a party. This will have a party. But then there's the main thing as well. So I just happened to be, my resort was next to a hotel that was having a festival. And man, the music was crazy. The food was crazy. The drinks were crazy. And me and my sister got drinks for free. It was just a mess. It was something else that night. It was like the last night, one of the second to last nights of us being there, and it just worked out so well. So
cool. That's cool.
SOS, I see you. I know what you mean. I got to get ready to pack soon too. I get it. And then you said what now? I went to Santa Monica Junior College in 1979/80. 80 was a good year. Wow. I was born in 1980. That was a good year. And shout out to the people who love the warm weather, because I do. Listen, Jersey, I don't know. I was born in December. December 11th is my birthday, but let me tell you, I don't know. And in New Jersey. Craziness.
Oh.
But I'm not a fan of this weather. So anyway. Okay, so let's talk about evolution. What we got here? Okay, so before we do that, the Last Consort. I like to stay up on my vocabulary. And when I saw consort, I'm like, I don't know if I've ever heard that before. So can you educate me and anybody else out there who is unaware? What does that mean? Like, I know the last resort.
Well, sure.
Go ahead.
Sure. So I actually had some comments before, like, what does the title mean? So the titles for the whole entire series, it's really, the word consort is, for the purpose of this story, is related to the main character's let's say, call an enemy in using simplistic language or not using book terms, that person. So it's connected to his criminal enterprise where he has decided to create a group of individuals who would, in a criminal enterprise that would mimic and take on his eventual desire to outdo and eventually take on the task that this evil task will call. They'll actually eventually do it on his behalf, in his name, that kind of a thing. So that's what really what that portion is. And all of the subtitles for the series are referring to the main character's journey. So the first book would be called, so it's Escape, and then we have, I forgot my own titles. So Escape, and then Adaptation, and then finally Evolution, which follows the path of the main character. So that's the logic behind the title and the subtitle.
Okay. So this person is like escalating. This is the last one of the series?
Yes. And so this is the last one of the series. The final book entitled Evolution will be the final book of the series. And it would conclude the story of our main protagonist, our protagonist William, who is a person who has a troubling past, which is attached to this person who has this desire to basically move forward with a viral attack against the Los Angeles area. He would eventually try to stop him based on this past, which happens to be connected to the woman he loves. That past is also impacting and connected to her, which is why it's a kind of a different storyline. It's not just this one person. So as you read through the series, you'd eventually figure out more of the secrets that are unleashed for each book. And the final third book basically wraps everything up where you figure out, the word The Last Consort will appear there finally, and we'll be able to see what happens with our main character.
How mystical that this story here that you're saying, it sort of lines up properly with the burning question that I have tonight as well too. So
goody.
I want to dig into your characters a little more. So when it comes to writing characters and stuff, do you vicariously live through them? Is it parts of you that you want to pour out? Because I think if I was writing the type of stuff you would, oh boy, I definitely would go in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna honestly say I have the characters that I created are from my own head, but I have, let's say, used acting tactics where we can, in a way, vicariously live through them, in a way. The acting tactics where I will actually try to put myself in a position where I'm kind of like having that character, if the character is sad, if the character is feeling something, I will try to embody that while I'm trying to create these people on the page. If I can, and so it's not necessarily a tactic that many writers do, but we do biographies and things like that where we try to build the characters from scratch. And I personally I use the various personality tests and things like that. But at the same time, when I'm writing, it's a way where I'm feeling this connection to these people. And even though my main character is a male, I still try to put myself in their shoes so I can have so I can deliver that experience to the reader so they can connect to that person. So I would hope that my characters are definitely have an emotional connection during the reading experience.
Now I have something for you here. Which character in this book here that you dislike the most? Is there one character that you dislike?
Dislike the most?
Yeah, because that must be an interesting process where you don't like them, and as you're writing it, maybe you had to control yourself because you started to maybe get carried away. And I'm only thinking of, if I was in your shoes,
Ah,
you know what I mean? Like if I was in your shoes, you put this person as in your mind somebody that you dislike so much that sometimes you have to question yourself and say, maybe did I do a little bit too much when I was writing this part here? Should I
ah,
revise?
uh,
Do
that's
you?
a really good question. I, I think my best way to answer that is I try very hard to have all of my characters be human. So there's no villain, or I call her a villain, but there's no antagonist who would appear so so nasty, so villainous that I can't find a heart in that person. Everybody makes mistakes, but I think all of my characters for this particular series, the only person who really, this guy's like really not cool, is in book 2. It's a guy, Russell is the character, and that person there was one person who I did try to again provide that why they did what they did, but that would be probably my character. Like, okay, this guy's really he's a yeah, I don't really like him that much, but I'm going to just keep pushing through. But I didn't feel like I crossed a line, because again, his reasoning was a realistic reasoning to my understanding. Well, not to my understanding, but during my journey, I do feel that his reasoning had some kind of plausible point, I guess. So I guess that's how I can best answer that. Yeah, so it's interesting. I try to love all my characters, but everybody's like, I guy's not nice.
Right. Well, that's good because listen, I wrote some things and it went in the wrong direction. I had to stop because I'm like, I am attacking this person and I can't do it. So that's good though that you were able to separate it. All right, so let's get into it. What do you have? You have a little piece that you want to read to us tonight?
Oh, sure. Yes, I can definitely get that going. So you'll be hearing from book 3, and this is the actual very beginning of the story. So here we go. Death had spared its grip on him once again, but not before glaring its crooked teeth. He couldn't shake the cold press of its touch against his spine. Remnants of the vehicle were splintered about the road. What was once a black truck sat in a mangled mess, its mechanical inside displayed openly, exposing the once unseen. His heart raced as he stared past the windshield, watching the disaster that was just averted and the potential death he was about to witness firsthand. "Are you all right?" William asked Patricia, who continued to watch ahead. Her breathing was at a runner's pace, her body taut. "Yes. Oh my God, they didn't stop. That could have been us. I don't think the driver could have made that. Look at the car." "I'm going to check." "No, this wasn't an accident. You stay right here. We should leave, in fact." "You're right, but what if I can help someone?" "They're not trying to help us, Will. I'll call for help." They waited in the cool of the vehicle, his heart rate causing a rebound against his ribcage, and his hands still tightly gripped against the steering wheel. Patricia was right. It wasn't an accident. They both saw the black Titan ripping toward them, enough to brace for and for William to react. His eyes remained focused on the wreckage before them as a tap landed against the driver's side window. Just as he turned toward the sound, the window of his vehicle shattered violently by a physical force. He felt the hands against his shirt and the tug toward the door. "William!" Patricia shouted. "Get out! Where is it?" William struggled with the person watching as another person from the damaged vehicle emerged from the wreckage, the passenger, not the driver. He staggered toward them. "Shit!" In a hurried reaction, he snatched at the gear and pulled his Highlander into reverse, despite the spots of cars starting to pocket idle, bottlenecking at the scene. Once clear, he accelerated, attempting his best to create a distance between whoever the men were who had just decimated his window. He performed a suicidal bullying act just moments before. Constant looks into the distance paired well with moving the tiny bits of glass beneath his left foot. "It's Diablo, isn't it? They want it too?" asked Patricia. It was a lie, every single part of it, from Rochelle, the vials, why she had me rip at everything. If it was a lie, then why do others still want it? Three children whose newly attached connections waited for them. Their parents at their aunt's apartment. Diablo, an invisible monster, a variant virus multiplying through the wicked doings of a foul few who had continued to burden him, and those he held dear to him. William felt his fingers numb as he tightened his hands once more against the contour of the steering wheel, felt the twitch of the glance as he stared ahead, felt the weight of his circumstances against his shoulders, a heavy push he could feel in his chest. Diablo, Evans, three children, one on the way. Well, he shook his head. Words escaped him. Diablo, what if? That's the end.
Wow. That was intense. What mind frame were you in when you started to write that? Like, how does that come about?
As a suspense writer, I always want to create a scene that is thrilling, exciting, and that would open up something to be like, oh, okay, I got to keep pushing on and reading on. So this scene, when I approached it, I was able to. I think I kind of wrote this one all in one fell swoop because I was just in a place of flow. So it was. I think it was a positive situation, of course, when I was writing it. But just trying to get everything working and how I connected everything. That's how I was with that particular scene. And in previous books, the first scene in the first book kind of opens up with that same kind of, oh wow, what's going on? The fire, people are calling the forest. So it's like, I just want to get you, this is where we're going. So that's my mindset, I guess, when I start up, or at least the start of this particular series.
Wow. That seems like a lot. Wow. So where can everyone purchase your book at?
Oh, sure. So the last book, The Last Consort Evolution, is available on Barnes & Noble. That one is available there. Mm-hmm. You can also visit my website for links, which is laurenschultzauthor.com. And you can have the links available there. And additionally, on the website, you have access to the other two books of the series. And for anyone listening, if you have an interest in reading anything, I am also giving away a short story attached to the series if you would like to test my writing, see how I write. And that's available on my website as well.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's awesome. So let's see here. What's new for you? Do we have any new books coming soon?
I would hope so. My current work in progress is actually a romantic comedy. So I'm taking a different turn.
Okay.
Yeah. So that one hopefully will be ready for next year. And additionally, since I worked with my characters for this series for such a long time, and there's an actual backstory to this backstory, I would look to put out an actual kind of prequel to the series, hopefully by the end of next year, too.
Do you believe in writer's block?
Okay, here's my answer for writer's block. Yes and no. So there's a solution to writer's block. Writer's block is something that's all in our heads as a writer, but what it is really, it's something that can be corrected by actually outlining. So people who are, they pace when they write and they don't have an outline, they probably are going to experience writer's block. But if you have an actual outline, and you've talked to your characters and you've developed the characters, then if you figure that, okay, there's a writer's block, you go back to your outline because something's happening where you're having a disconnect with the character or you're having a disconnect with your outline and your plot line. So once you can reconnect that, then that writer's block usually goes away.
Wow. That's some good advice. Very good, very good.
Yeah, I would highly suggest any writer out there, just look at that as that's what writer's block is.
So as a writer,
and I've had moments where I do, like, oh, okay, let me stop, let me go back to my outline. So I've had personally moments like that.
So as a writer, are there times where you just want to be left alone and you want to be isolated?
Oh gosh, all the time.
So
I don't like writing in a public spot.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be in a quiet spot, and I have to be by myself.
How does your family deal with that?
They used to be really good at it,
Mm-hmm.
but since this is something that's a continuous thing and it's not going away, sometimes they forget.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if you give them a gentle reminder and that frown,
Yeah,
then they'll back off and stop. So.
it's almost like podcasting. Do you have a show tonight? Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Okay. I get it. Yep.
Exactly. So
I get it.
You understand?
Yeah. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have author Lauren Schultz in the building, all the way from California. Thank you so much for joining in. She has a 3-part series, The Last Consort, and she is reviewing her last series. Am I saying that right? The last book of the series, Evolution. And I am sampling Cocobon Cabernet Sauvignon, and I'm trying to get through the show without making a mistake as far as coughing and having an issue because I got this little tickle in my throat. So I'm just keeping it very real and I'm being very transparent. So it's so interesting because, like I said, all throughout the day, I might have a little episode here or there, but smooth, clean sailing straight throughout the day. But as soon as I press play and come out here and do the podcast, trust and believe that it starts to have a little issue. But now that I'm speaking on it, I'm overcoming it and I'm back. My goodness. Jeez. But anyway, now is the time for us to get into our last segment of the show, which is burning questions. And I want y'all to just think back to the story that Miss Lauren spoke about tonight because it's going to make some sense when it comes to her characters and the things that she spoke about. So mystical how that happens, but it happens. And that's why we continue to keep doing the things that we do because it makes sense. So, if you'd like to give me a burning question, or if you'd like to give me some feedback on tonight's show or tonight's burning question, you most certainly can text me at 609-738-0611. Again, that number is 609-738-0611. That is the official 411 Reading Between the Wines hotline. Burning question. Here we go. If you held the power to anonymously and safely destroy someone's reputation with a single push of a button, would you do so or would you take the higher road? I'm going to go ahead and repeat that again. If you've held the power in your hand to anonymously and safely destroy someone's reputation with a single push of a button, would you do so or would you take the higher road? So before anybody thinks about this or answer, think about your worst enemy. Think about somebody who did you so dirty, who did you so wrong that you just want to get back at them. And now you have the opportunity and you have the power to destroy them with just a single push of a button. Without thinking too hard into it, would you do so or would you take the higher road?
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. That's an interesting one because it gives you all kind of moral dilemma circumstances there.
Mm-hmm.
I is because even though something that you do anonymously is, if nobody's looking, what is integrity? Integrity is something that you have when you do the right thing, even when no one is looking, which is, that's why I think I hold myself to a very high level of integrity. So that's why I guess I take the higher road.
That is a great answer, a great response, and I would hope that most people would pick that response. But I'm going to play devil's advocate and I'm going to flip it a little bit. So my response is, which response do you want? BC or AD? Before Christ or after Christ? Because listen, before, I would have pushed that button 1,000 times and I would have went in. And now that I have a new mindset, now that I have evolved to a new level, I'm thankful that I have a new mindset and that I know better today than I did yesterday, because the old me would have been pushing buttons and asking how can I get more. And the person that I am today, I know better, and I'm like, absolutely not, because there is a karmic law. Like, I don't care if you get away with it, you do it anonymously, you think that it's safe, you think that nobody's watching, like you said, it's integrity. But at the end of the day, what goes around comes around, and what is done in darkness will soon come to light. So every day's, your day's gonna come one day or the other. So to wrap this up and not to get too deep into it, when people do you dirty, when people do things to you, we don't always have to get back, because what goes around comes around, and that day's gonna come. So people who think that they anonymously, think that they are on a sneak tip, think that they're on a sly tip, doing things to get back at somebody or trying to destroy somebody, no, it's not gonna happen that way. It don't work that way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Totally agree with that. Totally.
Carol Cordera's comment. I don't even know if I can repeat it because I have to be cautious. But Carol Cordera said she would be tempted with a certain public figure, a public ex-presidential figure, which I'm sure y'all can figure it out. But then I think of karma. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, karma. Karmic law is real. And it's so real. Burning Sky says, I would walk away and take the high road. Yeah. Most people who watch the show, listen and tune in, I would think they would take the higher road. I don't know. That's an interesting handle name. I don't know. What does that mean that you don't know? Huh. Who knows? I don't know. So this is something that I rarely do, but I love it when I do it. Do you have a burning question for me? Because that would be interesting.
Okay, well, what drives you to bring authors on your podcast? When you have a writer, what drives you to do so?
Well, excuse me so much. I gotta make sure I don't have an issue here. This makes an interesting show. So, authors. I remember when I was in school and we had to read aloud. And I guess it was a little form of ADHD or whatever, but I was all over the place. And when it came time for me to read, it didn't come out right. I either missed the line, couldn't keep up, the teacher embarrassed me, and it was just a terrible situation. And then I always looked at people who read like crazy, and they were just so amazing. And I always thought that I was missing something. And because of those experiences as a child, I stayed away from books, and I didn't want to have anything to do with them. But I admire people who wrote. I admire people who can tell stories. And even though I had all of the stories and things in my mind, I was just afraid to bring them out because of the mishaps and how some of the teachers disrespected me in the good old Hamilton Township of New Jersey. And I was the only person that looked like me in my class, if that makes sense. So it was just really not a good situation. And I come from a troubled household and all types of nonsense. So it just really didn't work out well. Maybe it was like one other person that looked like me in that specific area. So growing up, that was always a thing, reading books, and I admired, people who wrote and stuff like that. So when I changed it around and changed that narrative and started to get into books and started to read, I was forced to do it in a workplace. I realized that there's power in reading and there's power in the books. And so when I bring on authors, it comes from a place of admiration. It comes from a place of, I can't believe that you were able to, put that out there like that. So I don't care what it is, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, comedy, romance, you know, I admire all of the authors who put their work out, who have the courage, who have the strength to be vulnerable and put their work out there like that. So that's where it comes from. It comes from a place of me looking up to each and every one of you out there.
Oh, wonderful. And I thank you for doing so.
Yeah, because listen, I know that it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely is not easy, and to sit back and wait and see if the public, the fans, people are going to be receptive to it, and you're like on edge.
Yeah. You like that edge.
Are they going to like it?
Very true.
Is this one going to be this? What are they going to think about that? And the characters, the individual characters, that must be a trip. Do you ever get any like fan mail from people who are upset at the direction the character's going in?
Okay, I don't get the fan mail, but I have received probably like 2 reviews that were really specifically based on characters. And it's like, oh, okay, well, because like my main character is a person with this rotten past. He's not a police officer, because usually when you have books like this, there's usually police officer, FBI, and that's not what his circumstances are. And he has scars. He's scarred. And he also has a really loving relationship with 2 small children, and people were just like, oh, that's just, and I was like, okay, well, why are you so like, whoa, there's some forgiveness, and some people have had that as a comment about my choice in choosing this character, having that relationship. And I've also had people not happy with some of the characters' decisions, which were plot-driven decisions. And it's like, well, I don't like them because it's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. You don't have to like them, but review should not be based on you're not liking a character, because I did my job, right? Like, you didn't like them, you weren't supposed to. So I've had that kind of comments in that kind of direction, but no mail or email directly. But these were like, publicly posted kind of remarks or so.
Excuse me, I'm trying so hard not to laugh, but I'm gonna cough here, which is terrible because you made me laugh.
I didn't mean to. I heard you choking on the podcast. I'm sorry. Forgive me, everybody. Forgive me.
No. Well, I got it out because then maybe I'll just get through the rest of the show. I was trying to hold it in. I was trying to hold it in, but it is. I guess that's what I get for trying to hold it in. I guess I needed that. But that is a true testament that you actually did your job, because when people get upset, that means that you brought these characters to life, and that's what you're supposed to do. So when that type of stuff happens, it's all right. Like you really did something, and that character affected somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It made them get all crazy
it's
enough.
Because we are put in that position where we are always like we are. Well, it's a vulnerability, and at the same time, we have to always. It's not about like what to me. It's not about you. I write because I feel that I'm an artist with this, and if there are fans who enjoy it, then great. And if there are fans who are not even a fan, if there's an opposition, then that's fine. You know, right. I'm actually, it's taken me some time to embrace that and understand that. So right. Not everybody's going to like it.
Oh my goodness. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you. What's going on? This was a great experience. Good luck with the whole process, the whole evolution. I know that's it's a journey. So your work sounds amazing from what you've read so far. So for everyone out there watching, please go ahead and support author Lauren Schultz. And I can't wait to see what's happening in the future, and can't wait to connect with you in the future as well. Thank you so much for being.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you so much for being a part of this. It's just been a great experience, and I just want to say thank you so much. And I enjoyed it tonight.
Oh, it was great. It was a blast. Thanks so much again for inviting me out and having me.
Yes, I can't wait till next time. I don't know when it's going to be, but I definitely will be in touch.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for everyone out there. Take care.
Yes.
And happy holidays to everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Stay warm, stay safe, and I will talk to you soon.
All righty then. You take care. Have a great one.
Okay. You too. Take care. Bye. Well, who knew that I just basically needed Lauren to make me laugh during the tail end of the show to get through everything. This was a great show, great experience, and what's going on, I want to say it, and I don't want you to get angry at me. Shadara, am I saying your name properly? She was on last night. I told y'all at the beginning of the show how amazing she was. So I can't wait to speak to her again as well. But Lauren Schultz from California, The Last Consort Evolution. Y'all please go ahead and support and check it out. The detail into it, y'all heard it live here. So it keeps you on edge, keeps you wanting more. Please go ahead and support. And she's from Cali, so of course, I love that. Secretly in my mind, that's my home spot. I'm here in Jersey, but I would love to be in California right now based on, this temperature and weather that we got going on here today. Anyway, so now, okay, let's see what we got here. We got a little comment as we go ahead and get on in. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Burning Sky says thank you. Lauren, great show, Lauren. I appreciate it. Each and every one of you out there, you make it great by coming in, showing in, commenting, supporting. Thank you so much to Carol Cordera out there. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining in as well tonight, all the way from sunny Florida. What a great place to be. Speaking of, I am going to be in Celebration, Florida, Friday the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. Friday the 8th, we have Reading Between the Wines, and we have author Liz Bullard coming in. So please stick around, set your reminders, all of that great stuff, because it's going to be amazing. Broadcasting live from Celebration, Florida. We have Ian West coming in as well. We have David Wayne Fox, all my friends. We have New York, Brooklyn, New York coming in. So, okay, let me rewind this. So we have, I believe it's Connecticut or Massachusetts area with Liz Bullard. We have David Wayne Fox, which is Brooklyn, New York. We have Ian West, folk musician, soul musician. Ian West coming in. I believe it's Tennessee. So that's what we're going to be doing this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Celebration, Florida, broadcasting live. I'm going to try my best to get around and interact with as many people as I possibly can from the area. So if you are from the Florida area, Orlando, Tampa, Miami, text me 609 738 0611 and we'll see what we have going on. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed the conversation that we had here today with author Lauren Schultz, you most certainly can go to LaurenGaines.com, keep this conversation going, keep this situation going, sign up for the coaching sessions. You can get one-on-one private conversations just like we have going on here today. But it'll be a one-on-one conversation, no cameras, no comments, none of that. Just you and me, one-on-one, going through whatever topics that you like to discuss. I will give you my expertise. You can take it, you can leave it, you can love it, you can hate it. But this whole entire time that I have been taking my year off, focusing, perfecting my craft, getting things together so that I can bring you to coaching sessions, expanding my knowledge, expanding my expertise in so many different areas. And whatever topic you have, whatever situation you'd like to go ahead and leave it in, we can go down that path. Sign up for the coaching sessions, private one-on-one conversation sessions to help make things better, help get things in a better direction when it comes to your life. Listen, all you have to do is look at my life as an example, and I can get into a whole, we can go down a whole rabbit hole when it comes to that. Just look at the whole 411 podcast. Look at how we are evolving to where I am here today. I'm just saying. You can go ahead and check that out at LaurenGaines.com. Also, another thing that I truly believe in taking care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. Yes, Carol, absolutely. Definitely number one on my list. Taking care of yourself before you can take care of others. So listen, there's nothing wrong with you loving yourself. And how I love myself and take care of myself today is I like to vacation. I like to have some me time. So if you like to vacation, you can go ahead and check out Vacation with Me, which is my new travel aspect of my business. And I can help book a nice home, away from home type of atmosphere. So I want to break it down. When I go on vacation, I want to have all of the amenities and all of the things that I have in my home at my vacation spot. So, what do we have at home that makes sense? That's an essential for me. A full kitchen. Maybe you want to cook your own food. Maybe you don't want to eat out all the time. How about a washer and dryer to make sure that you can clean your clothes properly instead of taking a suitcase home full of dirty clothes and then you have to go ahead and do laundry when you get home? So, when you vacation with me, I have condominium lifestyle, which basically is going to be home. Kitchen, multiple bathrooms, dining room, balconies, patios, washer, dryer, all of that type of stuff. If you want to text me at 609 738 0611, you can also DM me. You can let me know what type of, vacation you're planning. Where do you want to go? How many people? Do you need all of the amenities? Maybe you're only going for a short stay and you don't need all of the extra stuff. But just to let you know, we can give you the extra stuff as well. So vacation with me, text me 609-738-0611 before you go ahead and plan your next trip. Also can give you some nice little discounts, and I can help you with a nice little itinerary. You tell me where you want to go, and I will go ahead and set it up for you and give you a detailed itinerary to make your vacation go nice and smooth. Take care, SOS. Thank you so much. Listen, when I'm done here, I am getting ready to get out. I'm getting ready to get some food, and absolutely, it's going to be night time. Good night, good night, good night, SOS. Thank you so much for joining. So, absolutely. And then also, so I know there's a lot of stuff going on. So, for those of you out there who want to stay up to date, you want to stay up to date on everything Lauren Gaines, head on over to LaurenGaines.com and you can sign up for my new newsletter, which is called Whispers of Wisdom. And you're going to get a whole bunch of wisdom from Reading Between the Wines, 411 podcast, Vacation with Me, the coaching sessions, inspirational quotes, inspirational wisdom, wine of the month, different vacation spots, different dishes when it comes to food and eating healthy, and just everything that encompasses what I do here. Head on over to LaurenGaines.com, sign up for Whispers of Wisdom, the newsletter. The new newsletter that's coming out next month. First edition will come out next month. One tiny little email to you once a month with all of the great things that I just spoke about. Clips from the show, inspirational pieces here. Try this wine. I just sampled this wine. I just visited this winery. I just went here. I just went there. This is a new travel spot. Whispers of Wisdom give you just that. Small little pieces of wisdom. Head on over to LaurenGaines.com for that. And on that note, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who joined. Author Lauren Schultz, thank you so much. I made it through this show tonight. My goodness, craziness. And I got so many more shows to do. So we got to get this thing together here. We sampled Cocobon Estates, Cabernet, Sauvignon. One of my favorites. I love the Sauvignon grape. I also love the Dornfelder grape. That's one of my favorite ones. This wine is 13.5%. So, if you want to laugh, come back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have comedian Marcus Rutherford, another Californian, in the building tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the 411 podcast. It's going to be amazing. He's funny. Check me out tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on that note, I want to say thank you so much to everybody for joining in. TikTok, you all were on fire tonight. Carol Cordera, thank you so much. We had people from Cali out there. Bethany, North Carolina was out there. SOS. Time is money. I see you out there. I'm not sure if you're still out there. Thank you so much to X, formerly known as Twitter. Thank you to Cindy from D-Live. My D-Live family came in last night. I just want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Take care, y'all. Have a wonderful, amazing night. Continue to wind down for the rest of the night. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Medium, Marcus, all of it. Take care, y'all. Have a good night.